Good day, my fellow members of the Australasian division, friends and associates. Firstly, thank you for the opportunity to say hello and to wish you all the best for a successful conference. As always, Tara and her team have put together a superb lineup of speakers, talking on a wide range of subjects that will not only inform but provide relevant information for embalmers. And to top it all, what a fabulous location to hold a conference in. It is now nearly 2 years since I left Australia to return to the UK. Since leaving, I've found a part-time job with a family-owned funeral company in a place called Great Dunmow, which is about 70 kilometres northeast of London. This is the High Street in Great Dunmow. Last year I embalmed around 300 cases, of which roughly a fifth were autopsied. One of the main differences between here and where I've worked in Australia is the delay between death and embalming, on average 11 days. After this, it is normally another 2 weeks before the deceased is buried or cremated. The consequences of such delays are enormous, as you can imagine, particularly the problem of dehydration and sometimes mould growth, depending on where the deceased was held prior to embalming. The equipment too took a little getting used to, a far cry from the super-duper self-regulating American injection pumps and the flash hydroaspirators. With no rate of flow, here it is mostly a guessing game how fast the arterial solution is travelling into the deceased. This equipment is much the same as it was 45 years ago, only now it costs a lot more money. Anyway, with not working full time and time to spare, I've been drawn to my interest in cemeteries and their occupants. This is Kensal Green Cemetery in West London. It is one of several cemeteries that were opened during the reign of Queen Victoria to cope with insufficient burial space in London during the 19th century. A little to the north of this cemetery, in North London, is Hampstead Cemetery. The list of incumbents of this cemetery is really impressive, but none more so than this handsome fellow on the screen now. This, as some of you may know, is Andrew Fisher, who was the 5th Prime Minister of Australia. Fisher served as Prime Minister on 3 separate occasions and is second only to Bob Hawke as Australia's longest serving Labour Prime Minister, although noting how often Australia changes its Prime Ministers, that might not be much to shout about. His government was responsible for bringing in old age and disability pensions, maternity allowance, starting the building of the Trans-Australian Railway, establishing the Commonwealth Bank, officially forming the Australian Capital Territory, and dropping the U out of the spelling of Labour. Well, how did he end up here, you might ask? Well, once he left office in 1915, he accepted an appointment as Australian High Commissioner to the UK. He later died in Hampstead at the age of 66 in 1928. I believe his wife returned to Adelaide to be with her children shortly after his death. Cemeteries are fascinating places to visit, and you never know who you might find amongst the gravestones. Well, that's enough of my ramblings, and anyway, my time is nearly up on this recording device. I hope you can see me there. Once again, my best wishes to everybody at the conference. Have a good time and enjoy Fremantle. Best wishes, me.